Gates financial advisor. Dropping beats that'll make you go higher. I got it 808s with metal undertones. Gonna school you about crypto, make you take loans. Stacking stacks, yeah, that's the goal. Invest in the crypto, watch it all unfold. Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin, and more. I'm diversifying portfolios like never before. Cryptocurrency got the game in a frenzy. Financial literacy, that's the key thing. I'm spitting knowledge, making moves that count. Turning stacks into millions, no doubt.
What's good, everybody? It's your boy Reckless Ray Dinero, and we are back at it again for another episode of Crypto Portfolio Updates. How are we doing? How are we surviving? Are we making it? Are we making it into the market right now? Markets are terrible. Everything's bad. The world's falling apart. We're going to get into that, but first we got to give a shout out to Delta Investment Tracker app. If you have not tapped in and have not tried Delta Investment Tracker app, high key, recommend you give it a shot. I love it. I've got a sponsorship by them. They sponsor the platform and me. And there's a link down in the description to let them know that you found them by way of Reckless Ray Dinero. It doesn't give me any type of kickback or anything. That's not the sponsorship level that I've got. But it lets them know that you found them via the content over here, via the channel, which is greatly appreciated. Also, if it's your first time here, welcome to the channel. I am your host, Reckless Ray Dinero. We are navigating these murky, choppy waters of the crypto experience week by week, month by month, day by day. Definitely hit a like, hit a subscribe. Also down below, turn the bell notifications on. I'm not one of those streamers that floods the stream. I only put up stuff that's pertinent, which is basically shows. Every once in a while, I'll have a community post. Just talk about stuff that I'm doing, something that I think is important that shouldn't be missed. Outside of that, it's just the show drops. We're not dropping every day. We're not flooding the algorithm with content. We are doing what we need to do, documenting what we need to document, and keeping it moving. So I won't be bugging you all day. Last but not least, share the stream if you're finding value in this. If you've been here for a while, I got my A1 day ones. Shout out to Ricky. Shout out to Dr. Quantum. I always see them sharing my stuff. It's really surreal. It's kind of weird seeing my stuff shared, and it's not by me because I'm like, who shared this? And I'm like, oh, it's the homies. But I definitely appreciate that. It gets the message out. We're not trying to get rich over here by ourselves. There's always more room in the wolf pack. Now, next, shout out to the Bag Chasers. I am part of the Bag Chasers. That is Anton Daniels of AntonDaniels.com's Bag Chasers. Salute to you guys. I am in there. You can find me in the Discord. If you're part of the Bag Chasers and not in the Discord, you are definitely missing out on some high-level game. You can find me in the crypto chat, Bag Talk chat, sometimes in the stock chat. We be out here doing stuff. We out here living. Also, shout out to Circa 84. That is a private Discord group that I am a part of. I am the crypto ambassador over there. You can tap in. There is a referral link down in the description for Circa 84 if you're looking to take your investments game to the next level in multiple facets. We're talking about all sorts of stuff over there, not just crypto. Tap in, join Circa 84. Hit me up in the crypto chat. Now, let's jump into it. We're going to get to the fun stuff, which is, I mean, there's really, on videos like this is the real of the market here. Like, if you're not built for this, then you are not meant to be in this space. Ooh, sneeze. But let's get to it. Make me small, make the screen big. We're going to jump in here. You will note Bitcoin dominance is at 53.4%, just sucking the life out of everything right now. Wild. ETH dominance is at 15.6%. Gas fees are at 11 Gwei. Probably not a great day to be making moves on Ethereum. Seems like there's a lot of stuff going on over there, a lot of traffic. We'll see what that turns into. I've got a couple of hypotheses that we are going to talk to in regards to that as well. Top 3 trending coins. Oh, the top 3 trending. It's. I think everybody's on the same time that I'm on. Number 1, Solana. Number 2, Ethereum. And number 3 is XRP. We are currently, at time of recording, sitting at $59,217.22 for Bitcoin. The market is red across the board. It is just red. It's a bloodbath here. Like there's scrolling. There's nothing that's surviving this. Stablecoin is surviving this. First Digital USD is the first thing that we've seen that wasn't completely red. Next thing that we're seeing that is not completely red is Aave, which is still down, just not as down. That's an interesting play. White Bitcoin, WBT, that's going to not go well, but they're not in the red either. The majority of the market, as we scroll down this list, is just red as can be. Like that whole first page, we found 2 projects that aren't in red, and one of them is a stable coin. That is not a good look. Moving on. Yeah, we are seeing some ugliness. It's sideways down. So let's jump right into it. We're going to do the top 5 winners and losers for the day. Starting off on the top 5 gainers list, we have at rank 642 Nero, Neiro, with a gain of 37.6% in the last 24 hours. And at number 2, we have at rank 973 Nero again, different variant, Neiro, with a gain of 28.2% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, we have at rank 392 Data Ownership Protocol, DOP, with a gain of 22.3% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have Wexo at rank 314 with a gain of 18.1% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, at number 5 on the gainers list, we have at rank 864 MAD, MAD, with a gain of 7.7%. Moving over to the top losers list, we are looking at the number 1 spot being held at present by at rank 807, V Trading, VTRADING, with a loss of 44.2% in the last 24 hours. At number 2, we have at rank 945, Mr. Miggles, Miggles, with a loss of 30.7% in the last 24 hours. At number 3, at rank 763, we have Save, SLND, with a loss of 28.2% in the last 24 hours. At number 4, we have at rank 738, Chainflip, FLIP, with a loss of 26.4% in the last 24 hours. And last but not least, at number 5, we have at rank 860, Land Wolf, WOLF, with a loss of 22.6% in the last 24 hours. Moving on to the portfolio, we are not absolved from this. There is very, 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 very few bright spots in these portfolios at present. It is just ugly across the board. There's just decimation and destruction all over the place. Like I can't. I mean, there's just really not much to say. It's just been a bad time to be around for this. Like it's not good. So what we're looking at here is, before I move this over, we are total loss. The portfolio is down 14.9%, just at basically 10 grand. That sucks. Day change, we are down 4.6%. Gonna bring it up. Let's talk about it. Go ahead and do the top 10. Remember, we are discounting the Lido staked Ether position because that is a retirement fund position that is not going to change, constantly being added to this year and adds no value. But for those of you who are wondering, that is the way that I hold my Ether long term, is Lido staked Ether. That was my decision to go with Lido. I've been using them for a long time, in and out of that ecosystem, so that's what I went with. We're also cutting out stable coins because they serve no value in the portfolio either, as the portfolio is looking rather abysmal. Let's just go ahead and see what the top 10 is sitting at right now. So we have, at number 1, we have Solana, SOL. At number 2, we have Ethereum, ETH. At number 3, we have Injective, INJ. At number 4, we have Osmosis, OSMO. At number 5, we have Wrap Bitcoin, WBTC. At number 6, we have Camelot Token, GRAIL. At number 7, we have Radium. At number 8, we have Thorwallet Dex, TGT. At number 9, we have Celestia, TIA. And last but not least, at number 10, we have Arbitrum, ARB. Now, we'll note, the market is looking bloody. Moves that we made this week, we are following the Bitcoin standard, which means no matter what, we are buying Bitcoin. It's payday week. We had a little bit of money flow into Bitcoin. As far as investments go, we placed a little bit into the brokerage fund as well to buy some more income. At the rate that it's sitting right now, across the board, the portfolios are seeing a heavy red. So while we're in this phase where we're trying to eliminate all the debt possible as quickly as possible, we're seeing the tides are turning. What I've been screaming at the top of the clips is coming to fruition, and this is why we started getting stuff in place to start paying back these debts as soon as possible. So here we are. You know, we didn't get fully in position. We had some outlandish expenses come up that have added additional burden because life happens. And, you know, we got to navigate those waters. But we are on track. We do have a plan. We are on path. It's just a matter of, you know, keeping the machine moving. So the moves that we made this week, we bought some Bitcoin. Moving forward, the way that I'm looking at this moving forward is I am very much consolidating down into bigger plays as far as what we're doing for this bull run, because this bull run is not running like anything else. And at the point that we're looking at, you got to start looking at what are your positions actually doing? Where are they at? Do you need them? Do you need as much of them? A lot of stuff that I got into for income over on the income side of things within the crypto portfolio, I'm not necessarily needing. Like, I don't need these some of these positions. Like, they're not needs for me. They were diversification, but going into the market that we're going into, we're going to have another global event that's going to affect the market, and a lot of the altcoins, to be honest, aren't going to be the play. So we're looking at, as far as money flowing in, I am not going to be clipping I'm not clipping any of my positions, but they are going to be reallocated to the bare minimums of what I wanted to walk out of this bull run with. And then we will be rolling heavily into Solana. We're going to be going ahead and converting over to Ethereum, because as far as the income part of this goes within this segment, I've flipped and I am making more in my brokerage portfolio. So utilizing this and getting the outlandish income that I was getting, that game, in my opinion, is blatantly over. Like, there's just not the opportunities, and there are better opportunities in the traditional financial space for income and income specifically, and I can reallocate out of that a percentage into this portfolio to build it. So I'm going to probably be looking at positions. Obviously, they'll still be sitting in income positions, but as we hit these unlocks, specifically over on Camelot, I've got quite a bit of Arbitrum over there that I was overexposed on that's taking a hit right now. We'll be moving a lot of that over to Solana within the Solana ecosystem. So you're probably going to see a lot of Solana related things over here because that's going to have energy and legs this bull run. It has held, even with the dip that we're currently experiencing, it's still not as bad as everything else. So, like we're looking at Radium not doing too bad. What else do I have over in the ecosystem? I will also be getting some more Superverse. Superverse is down in the area of a great buy-in for me. I'm also over in the Atom ecosystem. I will be looking to accumulate a little bit more Akash. Jupiter, going to be getting a bigger bag of Jupiter. The JLP token, I like the liquidity token. It seems to fare better. And yeah, I think that you're going to, I'm probably going to get some Immutable X. I will most likely be getting a little bit more of that too. But everything else is kind of in a holding pattern, kind of where it is. I'll be consistently adding to my Rune again. Every time I convert over, I'll be grabbing a little bit more Rune to put into the coffers. But yeah, I mean, as far as everything else goes, like I think that's what you're going to see me doing is more ecosystem plays. Solana is going to be my, obviously, blue chip meme coin in my opinion, but like if the energy's on that chain, the exchanges on that chain will do well. So from an ecosystem perspective, we will be doing a lot of consolidating down into the Solana ecosystem. We've got good plays that are making some income over there. And we're going to continue to bolster those because they tie in their Solana based plays. And we'll be doing that. Also, another thing to look at is like when I'm seeing Bitcoin dip. Oh, there it goes. See, live action here. We've dipped below 59,000. We're at 58,977.60 right now. When I see stuff dip below 60, I am going to start trying to get some money into the ecosystem as we get some breathing room. Instead of just going full bore into buying all additional income, I'm going to start getting some cash set aside, picking out a platform, and I will be putting in longs when we dip below 60,000 because that's gonna be the other thing. We're gonna start doing some active work now that I'm actively managing my brokerage account. I have a little bit more bandwidth to actively manage a crypto portfolio. And below 60, when we break below 60, and we're looking at these harsh peaks of volatility, playing the below 60 to about 65, 66,000 with a little bit of leverage on them, these plays are going to start manifesting themselves. Like I'm going to start closing out some positions. I'm going to convert a little bit over that, and we're going to start seeing what we can do within that space as well. But yeah, so let's talk about what's going on in the market. We've got a lot of key things like our this isn't just the crypto market, it's all markets. Like the stock guys can't even talk trash right now because the stock market is garbage. We had a weak earnings report. The Fed got what they wanted. Jobs reports were bad. Everything's underperforming because when you mess with inflation, it's a lagging indicator. You don't tweak the numbers. You don't keep raising rates and then think that stuff's going to change tomorrow. It takes months and years for the effects to take place, and they overcorrected, and now they're getting ready to overcorrect back the other direction. What's that mean for the markets? A lot of people are scared. There's a couple of pieces specific to crypto that we have to keep in mind, though. We have a lot of institutional money in our space now. And I've said this at the beginning of this, before this started, I was like, our volatility is going to look different. Why is that? Because if you have a hedge fund, they have specific percentages allocated to specific assets, which means they will clip winners to fund losers. I'm going to say that back again. They will sell off winning stocks and reallocate those to losing positions. Crypto is highly volatile. It shoots up really fast, which means that you could be in a balanced portfolio out of balance rather quickly. which means that you would have to sell off your Bitcoin position and reallocate that into something that's not performing as well. This drives down the price of Bitcoin while also simultaneously raising the price of whatever you're going into, because you're balancing your portfolio, which means you're selling something and buying something else. And people haven't understood that, but I'm looking at it, and macro environment aside, when we just ran up to 69 again, almost touching 70, there was an immediate sell-off back to about 65. And my hypothesis here is that is the point at which they were like, "Hey, rebalance now. We've got to get this portfolio balanced. We're going to only supposed to have 5% Bitcoin, 10% Bitcoin in here, 1% Bitcoin exposure in here. Now it's 10, now it's 5, now it's 20." The other thing that's going on in the market is Grayscale is selling off their Trust Ethereum ETF. They have to sell all the ETF back onto the market and then rebuy it back to put it in the ETF. They can't just convert it over. It's not just a signature. They have to sell. So there's also sell pressure there. Ethereum getting hit hard, finally. We're below 3,000. The other things to look at is, aside from the earnings report and the job report, you also have high valuation and market corrections across the board. Now, it's not even that I don't think. The crypto space, all the key stuff that people are talking about, Bitcoin, Ethereum, your top coins, Bitcoin and Ethereum specifically are both undervalued still, and people just don't understand because the traditional market does not know how to evaluate or assess cryptocurrency. So they're behind on that, which is why I'm like, the Bitcoin standard for my household makes sense to me, because I'm like, well, this is an undervalued asset. I'm just going to completely go all in on it and buy it indefinitely in the background, and that's the future savings plan for me to solidify my wealth. Other people aren't seeing it that way, and everybody's got their own strategy and their own narrative, but we're also seeing a scenario where we're waiting for them to correct back the other direction and start lowering interest rates. People are waiting and frothing at the mouth for that cheap money. And I've already stated it over on Future Financial Strategies, but over here, we're waiting and frothing at the mouth for it too, because while I have access to cheap money, it'll get cheaper, which will be nice. It's also going to afford us the ability to really start grappling and snatching at all the assets possible. Another key indicator that has come up a lot is that we have just recently tilted that we are going into a recession. Like they have that chart that we've tilted the scales. Like we are going into it, and I've said this before. I was like, when they announced that we're actually in a recession, we're actually probably going to be starting a depression, and that shouldn't necessarily affect our strategies, aside from you've got to make sure that you have income coming in, that you have job security, that you have an ability to get out there and grind and hustle and get money in. But the main goal, asset acquisition, should not change for us. This is when people buy up everything. Where there is chaos, there is opportunity. And we are in a state of massive chaos right now. Massive. And we should be looking to capitalize. We should now be focusing our attention on where are the opportunities? Where can we get in? What aligns with our strategy? If you're in the crypto space, everything's on sale. If you're in the traditional finance space, if you're in the markets, everything is on sale. What bets? What narratives are we following? What narratives are we chasing? Because now is the time that you double down. If you believe that you're right, like I'm getting ready to start really dialing in on getting some of the additional buys in for some of the cryptos that a few that I've been holding. I went through the list of what I'm looking at, but also getting well entrenched into that Solana play. We're gonna be adding to that. We're also going to be placing our longs as we hit these dips. we're going to be placing longs, and we will probably be closing those out as it shoots back up and touching 70. If you hit below 60 and then 5x, throw a 5x leverage on there, 5 to 10x. 10x if you're being wild. I mean, 5x is healthy. It keeps things interesting. And then ride it back up to 70, 65, 70, and then follow the cycle. You could do that. Like, that's something else that can be done within this space. But the important thing is to be looking. We've got to make sure that we are being perspicacious. We got to be looking at the information, and actually not just looking at the information, acting on the information. Like, if you're dialed in on something, you got to act. If you don't act, you get no benefit from anything that you're doing anyway. Action has to take place in order for there to be any type of forward motion, because you could watch this whole thing pass us by and you get no positions, and you come out and you're just still sitting there holding the same dollars that you were holding going in that are worth less, and now you can buy less of whatever position you wanted to be in. Buying now is definitely harder. It's harder to buy when the numbers are down and the markets are tanking, but those are also the most profitable entry points and most profitable plays. So we're going to leave it at that until next week, people. This has been your host, Reckless Ray Dinero. Definitely make sure to give us a like, give us a share, give us a subscribe. Definitely turn the bell notification on so you know when we're dropping this fresh content for you. Until next week, peace.
Money moves, gotta hustle, gotta grind. In this game, no room for the blind. Crypto's the wave, the key to the grind. Transfer that wealth, it's time to climb. Blockchain buzzing, time to make a move. Invest in the future, can't afford to lose. Learn the game, gotta play it right. On the right side, we take it flight. Punch the clock, working hard day and night. Gotta stay focused, keep that mind tight. Crypto, wealth transfer, we want it all. Rise to the top, never hit a wall. Oh,